Okay, I've finally got my new number plate, license plate, whatever you want to call it, and we have another addition to the family. My wife and I went out yesterday and we bought her this, a Subaru Crosstrek in black. Which we're going to take out for a little test drive now. Okay, welcome to a new member of our family. This is the Subaru Crosstrek. I just done a whole video on it driving from my house to the shops here. I always say the shops, I should say the stores, I'm in America now. But I just made a whole video, or thought I did, and I never pressed play. So now I've got to rant on about the same crap all over again. So, although you guys didn't have to hear it. Okay, well, before I start chatting too much, let's make sure I get out of this parking lot in one piece. But yeah, first look at this, it reminds me very much of my WRX. Well, it should do, it's a Subaru, and a 2016 Subaru. But everything, the way it's laid out, the way the clocks look, the steering wheel that hasn't got the little flat piece on there, and it's not as thick around the rim. It does have the indents in it here. It's got the navigation upgrade. This is the limited model. It's got everything on it. It's got the we got the nav upgrade, so it's got keyless entry, and look at that. Don't even stop, just straight out in front of me. As I've said before, think of everybody else as idiots, and you'll be able to go from point A to point B without being smashed. But yeah, it's very much like the WRX in the layout and the feel, the cabin. It's especially looking at this right here. The climate control is different. I don't have a digital display up here, and the little bit in here has just got the time, the temperature, and how many miles to your tank runs out. It doesn't have a little button here where I can scroll through stuff, but it does have on the bottom left here. It still has the little up and down buttons and the set button, and you've got your settings in there for like opening all the doors and one go, and putting everything back to default and all that good stuff. The gauges are almost identical, except where my fuel gauge is analog on the WRX. This fuel gauge is digital, and it's up at the top, whereas mine's down in the clocks. It's got its own little fuel gauge at the bottom with the analog needle. Well, this one's got the MPG with an analog needle and the fuel up the top, so it's actually just flip-flopped. The clocks, when they light up, they're like a glow-in-the-dark white. It's kind of a very cool looking white. Whereas the WRX is red. The big difference here is the visibility. The visibility in the WRX is great. The visibility in this is fantastic. I mean, it's sat up high. You can look over your shoulder and see everything. You can look that way and see everything. The rear view mirror, again, it's a massive expanse that you can see out the rear view. I haven't ordered that, that's still my wife, that's why I've got to bend down to see it. Smoothness of driving is great. It's got a CVT transmission, which is a bit weird when you first get in it. You kind of you're expecting it to do that little jolt where it changes gear, and it doesn't at first. It's yeah, very different. but it's kind of cool as well. The feel of the car, the steering is great. I'd say the steering's better in my WRX. I'm not trying to compare those two because they're completely different cars. Just coming from one 2016 Subaru to another one, but the steering is very precise. It's nice and light. It's yeah, it feels good. Suspension in the car, softer obviously than what a WRX is, but firmer than what other crossover SUVs are. Not firmer as in it bounces you around, you just feel the road a little more, which is, I think, is a good thing. But it's also got that soft edge where it's taking the bumps out for you. You know, you're not getting jolted around. It's kind of a nice compromise. You get the feel of the road, and you get that softness you want for the daily drive. Cabin noise is still loud. The BRZ was loud. The WRX is loud. This one's not as loud as those two, but it's still there. I can hear the tyre noise. That's one thing I would say about the Subarus. They are loud in the cabin, but you kind of get used to it. The one big difference is the stereo. I mean, it's got the nav upgrade, so it's exactly the same as mine, but it doesn't come with Harman Kardon speakers, and it's a huge difference. I'm not going to tell my wife that, but it's a massive difference. Meaning not as good as the Harman Kardon. We got the auto dimming compass and home-link mirror. I had that in the BRZ. I've got it in the WRX, and my wife's got it for the first time in this car. I love it. I love being able to just come up here and press something that's built into the car to open your garage door. I know it sounds very trivial, but it's just something I'm so used to now. This is a really nice drive. There's that CVT, just one continuous. There we go. Then all of a sudden it does something and changes pitch. The car is certainly not very fast. It's not got a lot of get up and go, but what it does have is nice smoothness. You know what, I think my wife's going to really enjoy this. She has so far. She's been out in it today, and she come back and said that she really likes it, which is good because we bought it. But we test drove. It was either the Ford Edge or the Ford Escape. I can't remember which one it was, but it was really nice. But for 30 grand, it was a base model, and it didn't come with anything. It's like kind of very sparse. It had a tiny little screen up here with a backup camera. My wife did not like that. Obviously no nav, it just had a tiny screen, but it was just a shade under. It was 29 something, just a shade under 30 grand. This one was 29 fully loaded. So yeah, a lot of difference. We even test drove a Chevy Cruze, because I happened to go over to the Chevy dealership to just see what they had. They apparently had a lot of hail damaged cars from a big hailstorm, and they were selling them off real cheap, so I wanted to go over and have a look, see how badly damaged they were. But when I was in there, I seen the Chevy Cruze in the showroom, so I went and sat in it. It was their premier Chevy Cruze, which is like the limited, the top of the range, and it was I was very impressed with it. I sat inside it, had a good look around it, trunk space, rear space, had all the gadgets on it. You know, it was fully loaded. So I said to my wife, well, maybe have a look at it. But she had a look at it, and for what it was, I think it was just overpriced. And she said she's not gaining anything. She had a Hyundai Elantra, and she had everything in that. But she said if I chopped in for a Chevy Cruze, I'm not changing anything. It'd be like I'm just going from one car to another one and not upgrading. It'd be pointless doing it. She was right. But when she test drove this, because she wasn't going to entertain a Subaru, I said to her, let's just go over there and just have a look at it. And she got in it and she loves it. So I thought that was really cool. We both got Subarus. And I didn't think she was going to get one. I didn't think she was even going to test drive it, but she did, and she likes it. And they gave us a good deal on it. They knocked some money off, put some extra money on the original trade value that they gave us, and made sure that we got those monthly payments right where we needed them, or not far off anyway. This one comes with the blind side, the blind spot detection, rear cross traffic detection. When you're backing up and someone's coming, it's got like a little radar on the back. It's really cool. It'll bleep and let you know that something's there. I know the sound on this camera is not great, but I do have a microphone. Oh god, what am I looking for here? It goes from 2.5mm to 3.5mm. Once I get it, I'll be able to have an external mic for this camera. This camera is great; it shows the whole cabin, but the sound is crap. This isn't. I'm not going to put this down as a review. This is like my first drive of the car, and it's just kind of a initial review. So my initial thoughts of what I think of the car. But one of the major things is the visibility. You got tons of visibility. It's very, very smooth, and it's not got great trunk space for this kind of vehicle. It's not that big, but then when you drop down the rear seats, it is then massive. It's very surprising. Then it's like all of a sudden it becomes this massive wide open space. We got all-weather mats as well, which I kind of wish I had for the WRX now. Looking at them, they've never really appealed to me before, but I think they would have been nice to have had. And it's got a trunk liner, and the back of the seats have actually got the same material as the trunk liner. So when you lay stuff on there, you know, you're not scratching fabric and stuff like that. Well, I'm almost home, so I'm going to have to cut this off short now. But oh, and as we pull in, you'll see the WRX as well, which has got the new number plate on it, new license plate, Scooby-Doo. Finally came after like 6 weeks. The garage is a mess. We can't put a car in there because we had a garage sale. There she is. There's my baby. And look at this. We got brother and sisters next to each other. But next weekend, I'll do. I think I'll do a proper review on it. I'll drive it a little bit more, and do a full-on review of what I think. And we'll have a look. We'll park up somewhere, have a look around it, look at all the gadgets, what I think of it after that amount of time, and I'm gonna feel quite at home in this thing. I like it. Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and stay tuned. We'll have another video real soon. Bye.